And Robbo, an exciting player, and what a coup this is for Juve.
Yeah, he is a good player. He's somebody that can go past people with the ball. He's got plenty of pace. He'll score goals. He's inconsistent. He still needs to be more consistent with his performances. But I'm not quite sure where he's going to play at the moment because Andrea Pirlo has been playing as a back four when they're out of possession. It's a back three when they're in possession, and Cuadrado's going high down the left-hand side. In the last game against Roma, Kulusevski was a right wing-back. Now, I can't see Chiesa playing up front because they've got three players up there, Ronaldo, Dybala and Morata. I think Ramsey seems to be in that position just behind, so I'm not quite sure where he's going to play. It looks like right wing-back at the moment in place of Kulusevski, but he's a good player.
It's interesting, Gab, isn't it? Because just a couple of months ago, we were talking about Juventus and what we could expect from them in the transfer market, and you were saying, well, probably not a lot, because obviously they're still very much tied to Cristiano Ronaldo's wages, and it's all going to be around him. But slowly but surely, they've brought in a lot of quality into this squad.
Yeah, and they did it on the cheap. I mean, look, let's not forget, they had no choice. They recorded losses of close to 100 million euros due to COVID and due to other factors. They ate a bunch of big salaries, sent them off to MLS, whether it was Higuain or Blaise Matuidi, and they got creative with their signings. You know, whether it was Alvaro Morata, whether it was Weston McKennie coming in on loan with an option to buy. The Chiesa deal is actually it's a 2-year loan with an obligation to buy if he fulfills if certain things happen, such as, and these are things that will happen, such as Chiesa reaching 10 goals and 10 assists, or Chiesa playing in 60% of games, or, this is the most obvious one, Juventus finishing top 4 the next 2 years. Now, if that happens, then in addition to the 10 million that they're putting down for the 2-year loan, they have to pay another 40 million, plus there's potentially another 10 million in bonuses. So in the end, I think it'll most likely be a 50 to 60 million euro deal, but they structured it in such a way that effectively they're pushing the payment down the road. So it's by necessity, but clearly Chiesa only wanted to go to move within Italy. He did not want to go abroad. From Fiorentina's perspective, they would have loved to hang on to him, but they basically made him a promise, look, we'll let you go next summer. He wasn't going to extend his deal at that stage, and really at that point, Juve were the only players in the market.
Robbo, if we were to have the discussion as we did earlier on in the show about who won the transfer market, I think there's a very good argument to say that it was certainly Juventus in Italy, which is, from a neutral's point of view, a little bit of a shame because we want to see a more competitive league as opposed to Juventus winning it again.
It depends which game you watched. And the first game, Juventus looked outstanding. They played really well. Weston McKennie played well in that midfield area. Kulusevski played well, playing up front with Ronaldo. But then they brought in Morata, and I thought was really poor against Roma. Weston McKennie didn't play well against Roma. Chiesa, I'm not sure where he's going to play. So I'm not 100% sure that it's a great transfer window for Juventus. I still think there's teams that are going to be just as good as Juventus this season, but it's going to be really tight and a great league this year.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.